Harcourt on Atlantic Television Network. This is Money Time. On ATM Business today, the economy CBN governor says that taming inflation is not by magic. Foreign exchange naira appreciates to 1,470 naira per dollar. UK inflation falls sharply to the lowest level. And on Donald Trump's presidential campaign, they accept donations in cryptocurrency. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of ATM Business on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the big business city of Port Harcourt. I am your host, Raymond Ken Mbata, and this is the network's medium of bringing the happenings in the economy sector of the society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of the viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with expert opinions, stakeholder analysis, and correspondent reports. By the end of this show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities all around the world. Let's go for this very short break, and when we return, we'll reel out the details. Please stay tuned.
Get ready! As Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024
at La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Rumukalagbo, off Waterlines, Basta, Port Harcourt.
On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m. Inter-school march past competition,
dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers, and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown bouncing castle as we cut the Children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689 and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the La Small Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Harcourt, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Jack us up and down like this now.
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask go?
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey, light o usa, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, well everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex, now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently. Make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg. See, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. Why we don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time? Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption not in my house and not in my country.
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akin Fadehi Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network. I'm glad to have you back, and now let's go into the market reports, local and international business news for today. Socio-political analyst Dr. John Idumange has called on the federal government to fulfill its promise of providing modular oil refinery during its campaign period. Idumange made the call while speaking as a guest on Atlantic TV Blowout. He asked the federal government to accomplish its promise so as to utilize the skills of the persons involved in illegal oil refinery. Let's take a listen.
Some years back, when I think during the time of Obasanjo, the Niger Delta youths protested, and the promise made to them was that the federal government will establish modular refineries to create job opportunities for them and to enhance their skills. But in Nigeria, promises are not kept. Just as we have no respect for public funds, we have no respect for promises. Normally, when a promise is made, it's like an affidavit you have sworn to fulfill. Now again, this discovery has demonstrated one thing, that oil theft is something that can hardly stop in Nigeria.
Can it hardly stop?
Yes, it can hardly stop. Because
why do you think so?
Number one, because there is hunger in the land. Number two, so many of the active, vibrant youths are unemployed. I know of boys who left university 12, 13 years ago, still roaming the streets. Now, things are even worse. Look at the cost of living crisis. Inflation as at 2008, 2009, inflation was 11%. Now it is 33%. In America and other civilized societies, the moment inflation gets to 3, 4 to 5%, it is an alarm. Yes. They will declare a state of emergency. But in Nigeria, we have, our capacity to absorb shock has become part of our body. So no matter what happens, people are dying in silence. Today, Labour is producing, federal government is proposing 48,000 naira. It means you have to wait for 2 months for an average worker to buy a bag of rice. You have to wait for keep your salary.
You use the whole of your salary to get
that is the point. It means that livelihoods are threatened. The country is becoming a theater of the absurd. This is not what we bargained for. And that is why I always, enjoin the federal government not to lavish, whatever goodwill the people have reposed in this government. All we have seen from day one is tax, and more tax. For what? We are increasing tariff on electricity bill. Today maybe we'll discuss cyber security levy. Levy. What are they using the levy for? Our roads are in a bad shape. Things are really bad. Now, I expect the government at this point in time to revisit their promise for establishing modular refineries.
So the government should just give up and
no, they are not going to give up. They are not. That complex web comprises, but not excluding, the security men.
Yes.
There are those who are.
The analyst further blamed authorities, including the military and politicians, for allegedly funding and backing operations of illegal refining of crude oil in Nigeria.
That complex web comprises, but not excluding, the security men.
Yes.
There are those who are the breaded wolves. They have a lot of money to fund it.
Yes.
Are you of the impression that it is all those poor boys who are jobless that can buy tankers? It's impossible. We are talking about a multi-million naira industry, which cannot be funded by the youths. So, ultimately, in that complex web, the security operatives must comply. If they don't, oil theft cannot take place. There are times when oil has been stolen and the tankers are moving. It is the security agencies that will avail themselves to guide, to provide security for the stolen oil.
Yes.
So she is not making an allegation. These are facts we have seen time and again. That does not mean that oil theft should be encouraged.
Yes.
You see, government should go into more sensitization. But the best type of sensitization government can engage in is not to talk on radio or television. No, it's not to. You see, our legal system is also retributive in nature. They are just after, catch the criminal and punish him. They are not addressing the causative agents. What are the causalities? What are those things causing, making these youths to go into bunkering or oil theft? They are not addressing those issues. And that is why, if you don't nip this crime in the bud, it will continue.
You will recall that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps had arrested 9 individuals involved in oil theft at an illegal refinery located at a forested area on the boundary between Rivers and Abia State. Citing the need to rein in inflation and achieve price stability, the Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday raised its benchmark interest rate, the monetary policy rate MPR, by 150 basic points to 26.25% from 24.75%, the third raise less than 3 months. With the CBN Governor, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, saying that there's no magic wand. Cardoso disclosed this while briefing journalists at the end of the Monetary Policy Committee MPC meeting in Abuja. However, the Apex Bank retained the cash reserve ratio CRR for deposit money banks at 45% and the liquidity ratio at 30%. Cardoso expressed optimism that the various tools deployed by the bank to tame inflation and create a stable foreign exchange market would yield the needed results in the coming months. Inflation had sustained upswing for over 13 months, hitting 33.69% year-on-year, fueled by food inflation. Also, Cardoso noted that despite pressure from food inflation, the general inflation rate was moderating, pointing out that the tools that the central bank was using are working. He stated, "I have several times and I will say again, there is no magic wand. There are things that need to take their time. I am pleased and confident that we are beginning to get some relief, and in another couple of months, we will see the more positive outcomes from the central bank that the central bank has been doing." He added that the committee thus reiterated several challenges confronting the effective moderation of food inflation, to include rising cost of transportation of farm produce, infrastructure-related constraints along the line of food distribution network, security challenges in some food production areas, and exchange rates pass through to domestic prices for imported food items. The independent petroleum marketers have expressed concern over the rising price of premium motor spirit, PMS, otherwise known as petrol, in private depots to 710 naira per litre with the increased petrol pump price at outlets operated by the independent marketers also rose to between 730 naira and 750 naira per litre, which has led to the queues at some stations operated by major marketers and Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), where pump prices are cheaper at 610 and 568 naira per litre respectively. A visit to the private depots in Satellite and Apapa areas of Lagos showed that prices varied as the products were sold at between 701 and 735 naira per litre. The depots with the highest prices include Bovas Depot, which sold petrol to independent marketers at 762 naira per litre, followed by MRS Depot with 735 naira per litre. The lowest prices were at Rain Oil Depot with 705 naira per litre, Emadeb Depot with 705 naira per litre, while depots owned by Elema Oil and Sahara, also known as Asharami Depot, sold at 701 naira per litre respectively. One of the independent marketers who spoke on condition of anonymity stated that most major marketers own tank farms in Lagos and they buy directly from the NNPCL. Scarcity has eased out a bit because NNPCL supply mainly to major marketers, but we, the independent marketers, are struggling as we depend on these major marketers for products. The major marketers buy at NNPCL rates of 548 naira to 550 naira per litre, and they sell to us at 705 naira per litre. The cheapest is 701 naira per litre. These major marketers have filling stations in Lagos and other states, but in Lagos they sell in their various stations at 610 naira to 620 naira per litre. Ipman stations in Lagos are struggling as we are unable to sell due to the price difference, making the markets highly competitive. Our people outside Lagos are the ones selling as they benefit from the high price that is sold over there. He noted that when we buy from the major marketers at 705 naira per litre, New Peng will charge us per the number of litres we purchase, and then we add transportation cost of 15 naira to our filling stations. The price at the pump will be sold at 740 naira to 750 naira per litre. Meanwhile, in a telephone interview with the pressman, National President of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Alhaji Abubakar Migandi Garima, stated that the supply hitches witnessed in the past few weeks have eased, adding that the situation in the country has gradually improved as marketers have started lifting the products from NNPC depots. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has expressed his desire to collaborate with Rwanda and Sweden for the economic development of the FCT. Wike stated this when he received the Rwanda High Commissioner to Nigeria, Christophe Bazivambo, and the Swedish Ambassador to Nigeria, Annika Han Englund, on separate visits to the FCT administration on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. While the FCT minister highlighted the importance of the collaboration between the FCT and Kigali, the capital city of Rwanda, in waste management, he also expressed the desire of the FCTA to work with the Swedish investors in telecommunication and transportation. Wike, who also stated that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has provided the FCTA with the needed support to make the city safe and conducive for foreign investors and missions, thanked both envoys for acknowledging the improved security and rapid infrastructural development in the FCT. He said, "Be assured that we will continue to cooperate with you. Mr. President has always maintained that there must be a cordial relationship, trying to see that we assist all foreign missions and make sure that security is a priority. I thank you for seeing the efforts of Mr. President in making sure that all of us who are in the FCT are safe. With that, governance becomes easy and activities are being carried out by individuals and corporate bodies with ease. So we as FCTA are willing to continue to give you the necessary support that you require to carry out your activities easily. In his remarks, the Rwandan High Commissioner Christophe Bazivamo said that he was on a visit to brief the FCT minister on the status of the bilateral cooperations that Rwanda is enjoying with Nigeria, and also expressed the desire for cooperation between Kigali and the Nigerian capital in the areas of environmental management and infrastructure development, amongst others. He said that we have seen the quick changes this period and we want to learn from the speed of implementation to see how our cities can partner not only in infrastructure development and management, but also in environmental management, governance, and tourism. Similarly, the Swedish ambassador to Nigeria, Annika Han Englund, noted that her country would like to strengthen the bilateral relationship it has enjoyed with Nigeria over the years. On ATN Business, we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials, and you can connect with us and watch us on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram and TikTok, we are on Atlantic TV Network 1. On X, formerly Twitter, we are on Atlantic TV Net, and watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. And on to more stories. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, and NGX Regulation Limited, NGX Regco, have reinforced their commitment to transparency and excellence in corporate reporting with the launch of their maiden Corporate Reporting Award. The award, which recognizes the top 30 most capitalized companies listed on the NGX for the 2022 financial reporting year, underscored organizations' shared commitment to fostering transparency, accountability, and international best practices within the private sector. Dangote Cement PLC, Airtel Africa PLC, Seplat Energy PLC, amongst others, were honored to be top prize at the event. Dangote Cement received the Platinum Award for excelling across all three reporting categories, showcasing exemplary reporting practices that comprehensively address all relevant aspects of corporate reporting. According to the organizers, the scoring criteria involve a combination of average scoring and assessments from individual judges. Olufemi Shobanjo, the CEO of NGX Regulation Limited, highlighted the significance of the awards in promoting transparency and accountability amongst listed companies, anticipating a positive ripple effect on both listed and private companies in Nigeria. ICAN's 59th president, Innocent Okuosa, underscored the importance of corporate reporting excellence in attracting capital flows to the market. He emphasized the role of transparency in fostering investor confidence and reiterating ICAN's commitment to promoting accountability and transparency in the private sector. It is generally agreed that capitals will flow to the market that fosters greater transparency, and this effort is aimed at this. It also reinforces public interest of ICAN in eventual accountability, transparency to the public sector, he said. The House of Representatives has resolved to exempt members of the Nigerian Armed Forces from paying toll gate levies at the airports, seaports, and train stations across the country. The resolution is sequel to the adoption of a motion on urgent national importance moved during the plenary by Honorable Abdul Samad Dasuki from Sokoto State. He stressed the importance of the roles performed by members of the armed forces in safeguarding the territorial integrity of the country while putting their lives on the line. Let's listen to this.
The House notes that it was reported on May 14th by online and print media that the Minister of Aviation announced that the Federal Executive Council has approved the cancellation of all exemptions on airport access payments for VIPs in Nigeria due to the huge revenue losses they caused to the federal government. The House also notes that the Minister of Aviation will implement a decision of the Federal Executive Council by sending out circulars to relevant authorities in a matter of days. The House further notes that men and women of the armed forces honor our nation with the highest form of service and without reservation, keeping us safe from harm, protecting our wealth and territorial integrity, ensuring safe navigation on our territorial waters, protecting our borders, including the Gulf of Guinea, the creeks, Sahara Desert, and the forests, and fighting armed bandits who invade our communities. The House aware that it is important to show gratitude by honoring our brothers and sisters who are voluntarily serving under our flag, putting in their active years to keep our nation safe, with some losing their lives and some becoming disabled from the battlefield, among other effects.
The motion is unconnected to a recent decision by the Federal Executive Council to cancel all exemptions on airport payments, airport access payments for very important personalities, as announced by the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, on the 14th of May 2024. The Green Chambers have, however, instructed the House Committee on Aviation and other related committees to ensure compliance. The price of automotive gas oil, popularly called diesel, produced by Dangote Petroleum Refinery has increased from 940 naira per litre to 1,100 naira per litre due to the crash of the naira against the United States dollar. It was gathered on Tuesday. Recall that on April 24, 2024, correspondents reported that the Dangote Refinery announced a further reduction in the prices of diesel and aviation fuel to 940 naira per litre and 980 naira per litre respectively. Earlier, precisely on April 17th, correspondents reported that the Dangote Refinery listened to the calls of oil marketers regarding a reduction in the price of diesel, as the refinery reduced the cost of the commodity from 1,200 naira to 1,000 naira per litre. In about a week, the multi-billion-dollar facility again announced another reduction in the price of AGO, but noted that at the time, the change was only applicable to dealers purchasing up to 5 million litres of diesel and above. However, it was gathered that on Tuesday that the cost of diesel from the plant has increased from 940 naira per litre that was announced by the plant in April to a new rate of 1,100 naira per litre. Some other dealers who purchased lesser volumes said that they got the product at 1,200 naira per litre. Oil marketers told our correspondent that the hike in diesel price by the $22 billion worth refinery located at Epe, Lagos State, was due to the recent southward movement of the naira against the dollar. The refinery had earlier reduced the price of its diesel to around 940 naira per litre, but it later increased it to 1,100 naira per litre. This happened recently, maybe about 2 weeks ago. The national president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abubakar Maigandi, stated. Proving a reason for this, Maigandi told our correspondent that it is because of the rising exchange rate, according to what the refinery told us. Although officials of the refinery stayed mute when contacted on the matter, industry sources and some major marketers confirmed the developments. The recent crash of the naira against the dollar is pushing up the cost of commodities, and understandably the price of the diesel from Dangote Refinery is being affected, the National Public Relations Officer of IPMAN, Chief Ukadike Chinedu, stated. He explained that the Dangote Refinery imports crude oil, and stressing that the crude is priced in dollars, so the recent rise in the foreign exchange rate is going to have an impact on the prices of refined products from the plant, Ukadike stated. In March and April this year, the Naira appreciated against the United States dollar, a development that had marginal positive impacts on the cost of commodities. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, said that the Apex Bank has not revoked the licenses of Moneypoint, OPay, and other fintech banks operating in Nigeria. Cardoso disclosed this in a communique from the Tuesday's Monetary Policy Committee meeting in Abuja. He noted that the CBN is not against the fintechs, and his reaction comes weeks after the bank restricted OPay, PalmPay, Kuda Bank, and Moneypoint from onboarding new customers over allegations of accounts being used for illicit foreign exchange transactions. Cardoso stressed that the need for CBN to strengthen financial regulations to check against leakages. CBN is not against fintechs and has not revoked the license of any fintech organization. However, he stressed that the need to strengthen regulations in the sector to check against leakages. He said, he added that it is our responsibility to ensure that the banking system remains sound, safe, and fit for purpose. Correspondent reports that CBN raised the interest rates to 26.25% from 24.75% in March to tackle inflation, which soared 33.69% in April. You are watching ATM Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
Kasali, I hope my card already. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Maybe now you say make I change the meter, make you no read again.
Which time I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? Eh? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody I want send them to. Like Kasali, my electrician, make you come house, call me do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician?
The electrician.
Yes, now.
So you call Kasali electrician, make you come help you adjust your meter, make it for no read again, Abi. So you said you want join people where be say they no want they pay NEPA bill again, Abi. Oga, you know good now. You don't use them, you know they behave like all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change from your motor? What you change from?
Two lights. Fuel gauge. Speedometer.
For what now? You for come out for home my motor. I bet you identify for me.
Okay. Now don't do something we corrupt. And something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
They greet you.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
What you want to buy?
Potato. Small baskets. I want plantain. But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make I no buy them. Make I show you something. What? What in this one? Madam, this one now the chemical where they put on for the plantain make I ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No water, no be chemical.
Water. You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am.
Where you collect that water, drink am.
I just stop finish. See my belly. After it don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
Wait, can drink am now. And they sell am plantain, I go come put am for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That one I talk and now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take am.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Get ready! As Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024
at La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Rumukalagbo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Harcourt.
On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m., inter-school march past competition,
dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers, and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown, Bouncing Castle as we cut the children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689 and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Harcourt, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
you human
on the point of order.
Honourable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Good to have you back on ATN Business on the Atlantic Television Network. Don't forget, we are on Star Times channel 194 and you can still watch us live on YouTube. Now on to market reports. The Naira yesterday appreciated in the parallel level market, which is the black market, to 1,970 Naira per dollar from 1,475 Naira per dollar on Monday. Similarly, the Naira appreciated to 1,465 Naira 0.68 per dollar in the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, NAFEM. On sale of the new Naira notes at the Nigerian parties from FMDQ showed that the indicative exchange rate for NAFEM fell to 1,465.68 Naira per dollar from 1,468.99 Naira per dollar on Monday, indicating a 3 Naira 31 Kobo appreciation for the Naira. Consequently, the margin between the parallel market and the NAFEM rates narrowed to 4 Naira 32 Kobo per dollar from 6 Naira 1 Kobo per dollar on Monday. And approaching the global markets, the stock exchange from Wall Street, Asian markets were mostly lower in cautious trading on Wednesday after U.S. stocks hit new record highs. The U.S. futures and oil prices slipped. Tokyo's Nikkei 225 fell 0.9% to 38,617 points after Japan reported that its trade deficit rose last month as rising costs for imports outpaced an 8% rise in exports from the year before. The data were weaker than analysts had forecasted. Hong Kong's Hang Seng index lost 0.1% to 19,201.83 points, while the Shanghai Composite Index was nearly unchanged at 33,159.16%. In South Korea, the Kospi was virtually unchanged at 2,723.46 points. Australia's S&P ASX 200 edged 0.1% lower to 7,848.10 points. Taiwan's TAIEX gained 1.5% as shares in market heavyweights Taiwan's Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporations jumped 2.7%. Markets in Thailand were closed for a holiday. On Tuesday, the S&P 500 rose 0.3% to 5,321.41 points and surpassed its record set last week. The Nasdaq Composite gained 0.2% to 16,832.62% and points a day after setting its latest all-time record high. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 0.2% to 39,872.99 points and is sitting just below its high set last week. Indexes have risen to records recently, largely on expectations that the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States will cut interest rates later this year as inflation cools. More reports showing big U.S. companies earning fatter profits than expected have also boosted the market. Macy's joined the chorus lines of companies delivering a stronger profit for latest quarter than analysts expected, and its stock jumped 5.1% following some early fluctuations. Lam Research also helped support the market after the supplier for the semiconductor industry announced a program to buy back up to $10 billion worth of its own stock. The company said that it will undergo a 10-for-1 stock split, which will bring down its share's price and make it more affordable to more investors. Its stock rose 2.3%. That helped offset a 3.7% drop for Palo Alto Networks. The cybersecurity company delivered a better profits report than expected, but it gave a forecasted range for revenue in the current quarter, which midpoint was a hair below analysis expectations. Trump Media and Technology Group, the company behind Donald Trump's Truth Social network, sank 8.7% after disclosing a net loss of $327.6 million in its first quarterly report as a publicly traded company. Lowe's fell at 1.9% despite reporting better results for latest quarter than analysts had feared. It said that it's maintaining its forecast for revenue this year, including a dip of up to 3% for an all-important underlying sales figure as high rates interest keep a lead on customer activity. The rates for mortgages, credit cards, and older payments have become more expensive because the Federal Reserve has been keeping its main interest rates at the highest level in more than 2 decades. It's trying to pull off a tightrope walk where it grinds down on economy just enough through high interest rates to snuff out high inflation, but not so much that it causes a painful recession. This week doesn't have many top-tier economic reports, and the biggest potential for sharp moves in the market will likely come from profit reports. The week's headliner is Nvidia, whose stock had rocketed higher amidst a frenzy around artificial intelligence technology. It will report its latest quarterly results on Wednesday, and expectations are high. Target also reports later in the day with Ross Stores following Thursday. They could offer more details on how well spending by United States stock and households are holding up. Pressure has been rising on them, and still high inflation, and it seems to be the highest on the lowest income customers. In other trading, benchmark U.S. crude oil fell by 71 cents to $77.95 a barrel in electronic trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange. Brent crude, the international standard, declined 66 cents to $82.22 a barrel. The US dollar rose by 156.43 Japanese yen from 156.16 yen, and the euro change was unchanged at $1.86 to a euro. And on to inflation in the UK. The UK inflation said it fell sharply to its lowest level in nearly 3 years in April on the back of a big decline in domestic bills. Official figures showed on Wednesday. The Office of the National Statistics and Inflation, as measured by the Consumer Prices Index, fell 2.3% in the year to April, down from 3.2% in March. That is the lowest level since July 2021, when the global economy was still being held back by the coronavirus pandemic. The fall also takes inflation nearer to the Bank of England's target rate of 2% and is likely to pile pressure on its 9-member rate-setting panel to cut interest rates from the current 16-year high of 5.25%. The next rate meeting is on June the 20th, and many economists think that the bank will cut borrowing costs. However, others think that ongoing concerns over the scale of price rises in crucial services sector and the price of wage increases make an August reduction more likely. Though the latest fall in inflation is welcome, it didn't drop as far as some economists had hoped. It also doesn't mean that the cost of living crisis, the worst in around 40 years, is over. Lower inflation, after all, just shows that the prices are rising more slowly than they were before. Inflation hit a high above 11% at the end of 2022 in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which led to sharp increases in energy costs. Over the past couple of years, goods and services have risen by 15%, with food prices up even more at around 25%. The Bank of England, like the US Federal Reserve and other central banks around the world, caused interest rates to be raised aggressively in the late 2021 from near zero to counter price rises first sticked by supply chain issues during the coronavirus pandemic and then by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Higher interest rates which cooled the economy by making it more expensive to borrow, thereby bearing down on the spending, have contributed to bringing down inflation worldwide. Figures last week showed that British economy has started growing again, and the British governing Conservative Party hopes that the lower inflation and falling interest rates may trigger a feel-good factor ahead of a general election that has to take place by January 2025. Opinion polls suggest that the main opposition Labour Party is ahead of the Conservatives, who have been in power since 2010. Today marks a major moment for the economy, with inflation back to normal, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak have said. And dear viewers, this brings us to the end of today's episode of ATN Reports. Don't forget, we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. And stay connected on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. On X, formerly Twitter, we are on Atlantic TV Net, and watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. I remain your host, Raymond Ken Mbata, and peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for ATN Politics coming up next.